Hey folks, Aaron here. Welcome back to my anime review. Today we're looking at episode 2 of Fate Extra Last Encore. Now, what I loved about this week's episode is that it appeals to the fan of me of both Extella and Extra, which by the way, again, if you guys didn't see my first review, Extra is the PSP only game, and then Extella is the PS4, PS Vita, and Nintendo Switch game, which was like a hack and slash, and the first one being an RPG. Now, what's cool is that we get glimpses of Extella in the form of the cityscape. That's the First Stratum as they're going to. And besides the whole thing of which I'll talk about Saber's introduction and stuff like that, I'll get more into that in a second. I want to just kind of talk about this first, where these are the elements from the game, where you see Extella having big open areas and open environments, cityscapes, etc. to fight in. Versus Extra, which Extra didn't have that. Extra had the stratums, which is the concept of, different stratums you go up as you defeat your the masters and stuff like that of each stratum. But the thing is that we don't see in Extra any kind of environment that's beside the school. It's always these holographic looking areas that, it was very simple. It was probably one of my biggest complaints about Extra is that you never see anything but the school. And legit, every dungeon you go through or every stratum you go through is just this holographic looking type room with this, various colors and stuff like that. And it kind of annoyed the crap out of me. So I'm glad they went with the Extella look to it. I figured they probably would do something like that, but it was still a nice thing to see. Anyways, though, we learn more about Saber this week. We see that she actually does pretty much admit who she is without admitting it. For fans who are history buffs, you should know from the various hints that she gave this week. One, being that she likes both dudes and girls, which there is one big history person that is like that. Two, she is very eccentric and seems almost like scary eccentric, which also is a big hint to her character. And then finally, the biggest thing for her is just how boundless amount of energy she had. There was one big history buff character, or excuse me, one history character from history, real history, that was apparently known to be just someone who would do things on a whim like that. Snap of the fingers, would just go and do something. So you should be able to figure it out from that. If you really don't want to figure it out, you can go check out my first review. Unless they deviate. I've heard some people say that they might deviate from who this Saber is. I highly doubt it. I don't think they're going to do that, but it's always possible. I feel like it should be who I think it is, and if I'm wrong about it, I will mention in the next reviews when they actually do finally admit it, because they didn't admit it this week. Anyways, though, we get to see more of the cityscape where Hakuno, our main character, is invited with Saber to go to meet the mayor, who actually turns out to be Shinji from, the first episode and from other Fate stories and stuff like that, which, by the way, again, you're going to see people like you saw Ren in this week's episode too, but get used to seeing that because they are various characters from the Fate world that appear in this digital landscape. It's kind of the point of it, but Shinji has become the ruler of this cityscape of sorts. He's become the mayor, but he's actually been able to defect the whole thing where he now runs this place. He actually has it outside of the Holy Grail War concepts. Like, you don't have to participate in the Holy Grail War. You can decide to have a life here. You can get married to an NPC, get a job, you have a whole happy career, whatever you want, as long as you get rid of your servant if you are master. But, of course, Hakuno is like, even though he's always angsty and angry already apparently as a character, he's like, no, I'm not going to give up my servant. So thus begins a battle with Saber versus 3 berserkers, and Hakuno showing his special ability, which is very different from any of the games and all that, where he turned into like Mob. It reminded me of Mob from Mob 100. I'm like, holy crap. But I thought that was cool. But I want to see more of that, because I mean, first and foremost, guys and girls, I love the animation for this week's episode. It's, again, this should be expected from Shaft. Shaft does some incredible stuff. Equally the narration concept, I'm used to that from Shaft. They always do a lot of narration with their stuff. And they even had some of the head tilts with like the head going with this. So there you go, they had that too. But, I mean, in the first episode, like I said, the staircase was also dead giveaway. If you didn't know anything about the company going into it, you should have known from that. But one thing I'm really liking, besides even just the music, which the opening alone was freaking amazing. I am not skipping that opening for any of these episodes. I love that opening. It's great. But the ending song I'm okay with. I'm not a really big fan of the ending song, to be honest with you. And don't hate me for that. I know some people, when you say you don't like certain songs, it's like they flip out on you. But for the most part, second episode was very solid. This is not, I have issues again with the narration stuff, because Shaft does get wordy with their stuff sometimes, and I hope that doesn't become a thing that every episode is like 30 minutes of dialogue and then maybe 5 minutes of actual combat or stuff like that. But equally, if you're used to it, it's not a big deal. It won't, make you hate the show. And so far, 2 episodes in, I really like Fate: Last Encore. What do you guys think about the show so far, though? I would love to hear from you in the comments below. By the way, I assume that it's always going to be releasing on Mondays. If it releases on any day other than that, I will have the thing out at least by Sunday. So if it releases on Saturday, for example, because I'm reviewing so much on Saturday, I will have it out Sunday. If it releases on Sunday, I will have it out that day. And if it releases on Monday, like today, I will have it on Monday. So just don't worry, it will come out. It just might be slightly delayed depending on where it comes out from. So I apologize for that in advance, folks. But if you follow me on Twitter, feel free to let me know when it goes up. Not download-wise. I don't download anime. I think that's just completely wrong. But if it comes out anywhere else, let me know, and I'll try to get to a review as soon as I can. I'll talk to you guys later. God bless you all. Have a great day. You know what to do if you like my reviews. Please think of hitting the subscribe button, sharing the video around, liking the video, etc. Bye, everyone.